It's goodbye, Merson Durkin, sure I'm sick and tired of working. No more I'll dig the Pleiades, no longer I'll be phone. As sure as my name is Carney, I'll be out to California. Instead of digging Pleiades, I'll be digging lumps of...
Hey folks, Ray Province with the Celtic Ozark Garden. Glad to see y'all again. You know, if you were to sit down and measure the total square footage of my garden, you'd find that I have a total of 112 square feet of garden that I grow everything that I need for my family of four for an entire year. So as you can imagine, space is a premium. You can only have so many things growing horizontally across a raised bed garden. So one of the concepts that's really important when you get into raised bed gardening is to learn how to grow as many things as you can vertically. So I wanted to put together a video today to let you see a few of the things that are out in my garden right now that's transitioning out of spring and into the summer garden, getting going. And I wanted you to be able to see what some of the things look like that are growing vertically in the garden and some of the techniques that I use in order to be able to get my vegetables to grow up in the air instead of across the ground. So let's go ahead and get ourselves on out to the garden.
I wanted you all to be able to see how you can use vertical fencing as a way to help you save space in your garden. You can see this is a picture of a cucumber that it started to grow, and eventually it got tall enough to be able to hook it right onto the fence and allow the cucumbers to go directly up the fence. I'm going to just walk in here for just a moment so you can begin to see the nice little connections. They'll just naturally start to pull themselves right up the wall of the fence, and that's part of how I save space when I only have a bin here that's 8 feet long and 4 feet wide, is to use vertical fencing. And here's my other garden helper. Everybody say hi to Jake the Irish Poodle. You might recognize Jake because he's on the logo we use at the end of all of our videos. So say hi to Jake. He's working awful hard out here on this June day. Here's another little section with some lemon cucumbers that I got a year ago from the Baker Creek Seed Company, and successfully grew another set of seeds for it and started these from the seeds I saved from last year. But you can begin to see they're getting larger. Everybody say hi to Bo the Wonder Dog. He's out here working hard, as you can see in the garden. My little small lemon cucumber here is not quite large enough yet to be able to start up the fence. I wanted to stand away from my vertical fencing for just a moment so you could kind of get an idea of how I've built some of this piping into my garden. I have just regular 1x2 rectangular garden fencing run up in between. Nothing real fancy. I don't put everything together with PVC glue so that I can tear all this down for the winter time. And you can see I use just a series of little bits of string or duct tape or whatever to hold the fencing in for the gardening season. Here's another example of what you can do with piping and fencing to grow things vertically. Now this is one I bet you won't see in many particular gardens. This is a variety of hop that I grow from my home brewing. It's called a Cascade hop. And they're just absolutely wonderful, but for those of you that know anything at all about hops, it's not uncommon to get a hop plant to grow 15 or 20 feet in the air. Well, what I've done is put a piece of material together that's about 2 feet wide and 8 feet tall, and I have run fencing up the middle, and then I've just taught my hop plant. This is only one rhizome that started this, and I've taught it to grow in and out of this thing so that I don't have to go 20 feet in the air in order to be able to pick my hops at the end of the season. So I'm going to even kind of work in close here for just a minute and give you a chance to see what the hops look like on my Cascade hop plant in my garden. So home brewers, eat your heart out.
Well, here we are back inside. I hope you enjoyed your tour and enjoyed getting a chance to see the way that I get things to grow vertically in the air. Now, I didn't mention it on any of the video clippings from outside, but it's certainly okay too to help those little small plants, especially a good hardy plant like a cucumber, get a start growing up that fence by taking your leaves and gently placing them in between those little holes in the 1x2 rectangular fence that I use to get things to grow vertically. Then eventually the little feelers that come off the vines will secure themselves into that metal, and they'll take over from there. So don't be afraid to get things to grow vertically. I haven't had any shots in this particular video, but I've even been able to grow cantaloupe and small watermelon up in the air. So one of these days I'm going to give a chance to videotape some of those and put those techniques out there as well. So folks, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk again soon.
Instead of digging for ladies, I'll be digging